Thank you and welcome to the show this morning. The topic today is a profile on CCheeseborough, the senior coach for the women's track team at Tennessee State University. And of course, we have with us this morning Ms. CCheeseborough herself. Of course, let me welcome you, Ms. CCheeseborough, to the program this morning and to tell you how delighted we are to be able to profile you as our guest this morning. I think that the entire community and the entire world know who you are. But before we get into the program to talk about your profile and to deal with some of the Olympic exploits and some of those memorances from you, let's give you an opportunity to briefly give our audience some idea of who you are and how you became involved with Tennessee State University from that perspective, and then we'll get into some of your coaching responsibilities now, and then later on your Olympic exploits.
My name is CCheeseborough. I'm from Jacksonville, Florida. I came to Tennessee State in 1975 as a high schooler. I was in the Tigerbelles summer program where I met Coach Temple at the Junior Olympics in 1974. No, that was the second time I met Coach Temple. The first time, Coach Temple recruited my oldest sister to come here to high jump, and she turned down the scholarship, and I told my mom that I was going to come to Tennessee State and I was going to run track, and it happened just like that in 1974.
And so you came to Tennessee State University in 1974 specifically on a track scholarship?
No, it wasn't a track scholarship. In 1975, I came at the summer program. Coach Temple had a summer program where high schoolers could come and run in the summer. Then they would go back and compete for the high school during the year. So I came on under the summer junior program. Yeah.
And so you were already involved in perhaps a limited way in a track program before you met Coach Temple?
Of course, I ran in high school. I competed from 7th grade through the 12th grade in the state of Florida. I was undefeated, running track, so had a good career going on and came here to Tennessee State to finish that career out.
And so Coach Temple recognized your record, but you mentioned your sister. Now your sister evidently was more advanced in track than yourself because she was given a scholarship. Talk about that.
Well, my oldest sister was a senior in 1970. I was just in the 6th grade then, and she was a high jumper. She was the state champion in Florida, and Coach Temple heard about her, and he wanted her to be a part of his program. She came up to the summer program, but she decided that it was a little too far for her, so she returned home.
And then he heard about her sister.
Well, a couple of years later, I came along, and he saw me run at the Junior Olympics, and he approached me and my mother and asked, could we come up to the summer program, and that's where it took off from.
Now, who invited you to become a member of the Tigerbelles? Was Coach Temple the person in charge of the Tigerbelles at this time?
Yes, he was. Coach Temple approached us again, and he remembered us from 1970 because his wife had some relatives in Jacksonville also, and the opportunity was there, and I took the opportunity, and I don't regret it at all.
Now, I know all of a sudden you just didn't come to Tennessee State University and then go to the Olympics and win all those medals and et cetera. How did all of that develop? I mean,
well, it almost worked like that. I was very talented as a youngster in high school, and in 1976, where I made my first Olympic team, I was with the Tennessee State Tigerbelles. I did not medal in 1976, but I made it to the 100-meter finals as a high schooler. So I didn't win all my medals there, but I did make the Olympic team as a junior in high school.
Now, what did it mean for you to be a junior in high school, to medal, and then the sort of worldwide fame that that almost accompanied that? How did you react to all of that?
Well, I was a kid that just kind of really didn't let success, overtake me. So I did the normal things as high schoolers do. I was excited because I had an opportunity to travel somewhere I'd never been. We went to Montreal, Canada, where I competed in Canada, and it was a great experience for me.
And of course, all of this time, as being a member of the Olympics, you were not a single runner, but you were a member of the Tigerbelles, and there was various components and et cetera. Talk about some of the pairing and that kind of information for our audience.
Well, I need to go back a little because I met Coach Temple in '74. In 1975, he took me to the Pan American Games, where he was a Pan American coach, and I won two gold medals out of the Pan American game with him being the coach. The first gold was in the 200 meters, then the other gold came in the 4x1 relay. So that made me a part of the Tennessee State summer program from there. And then the following year we went on to the Olympics. But coming to Tennessee State was exciting for me, and I was a great basketball player in high school. But what happened, no one gave me any track scholarships because they automatically assumed that I was coming to Tennessee State. I had more basketball scholarships than track scholarships. Yeah, so I guess they thought that connection with Coach Temple, you know, it was like they're wasting their time to recruit me, but they were. So anyway, coming here and meeting the other young ladies, you know, it was just like a big family. They took me in. I can remember Wilma Rudolph coming back on campus and meeting Wilma, and that just did something to me. I wanted to be a Tigerbelle, so from that point on, I wanted to be like Wilma Rudolph. And I guess Coach Temple gave me that opportunity to go on and be successful in track and field.
Well, how many times did you go to the Olympics?
Well, I made the 1976 Olympic team. In 1980, I made the team, but they boycotted. And then again, I went back in 1984.
Well, what was it in terms of making a decision that you wanted to go to the Olympics? I mean, what kind of training regime and what kind of mind thing did you go through and that you were involved in order to do something like that?
First of all, you're going to have a will to win and a desire. And I think that comes from within. If those things are not in place, you can easily give up on your dream. But knowing that I was a talented athlete and things were going really good for me, I won the Pan American Games, made the '76 Olympic team. That desire within me wanted to go to the next level of competition. So after the '80 team, after they boycotted, I wanted to hang around and see if I had a chance to win a medal, which I did. I won 2 golds and a silver. So winning is within. Either you have a heart to win or you don't, you know. People can tell you that you're good and they can see the talent there, but if you don't realize that the talent is there, it's nothing.
It's desire.
Yes.
It is all a great desire.
It's
that
a great desire,
yes,
yes.
And of course, would you say that this is not only true in reference to personal efforts, but in reference to team efforts as well? Would that be a part of it?
I would say team efforts and just life. You know, in doing anything, it doesn't have to be track. But if you desire to do something and you have that love and that passion for it, you can do anything. Yeah.
And of course, that would be true, as you indicated, not only for a person who's involved in track, but that's one of the life's great mysteries in terms of what makes some folks successful and what makes some folks unsuccessful, even though the folks who might not be successful have as much talent in a real sense.
You know, I believe that some people just go after their dreams more than others. And some people think about their dreams, you know, and they wish they could have done their dreams. But the one that really pursue them, that's the one that's going to succeed.
Very good. And of course, I think, Coach, this is exactly the kind of information that we want. And we're going to have our first commercial break here very, very soon, after which we'll come back and we'll have about 8 minutes that we want you to sort of talk about the other relationships in terms of the Olympics and some of the other things, dealing with some of the things that you met in your experiences that you'd like to share with us this morning. And of course, we'll be back with our audience following this short commercial break. Thank you and welcome back to the second segment of the show for today. We're talking to Ms. CCheeseborough, who is the senior coach for the women's track team at Tennessee State University, the Tigerbelles. And of course, Coach Cheeseborough, let me give you an opportunity to, again, talk about some of the things that can serve as your profile, because that's what we're trying to do, is to give the audience, this immediate audience, in a real sense, an opportunity to know you better, because I think they already know you by reputation, you see, and I think that we want to try to sort of expand that. Let's have you during the second segment to talk about the Olympics and talk about some of your remembrances and some of the things that you think our audience would like to hear.
I think some great memories that I can remember in 1976, Brenda Moorhead and Kathy McMillan, all of these are graduates of Tennessee State. They were Tigerbelles. Coach Temple was not there, and one funny moment I can remember, we were excited about being in Montreal, and they had a lot of activities for us. And we were still afraid of Coach Temple, and he was 1,000 miles away, you know, but he had that impression on us that we respected our coach, and what our coach said, we did. So one night we were out and we were at the disco, you know, not really prepared for the running, but we were out there dancing and having a good time, exactly. But one of the managers called Coach Temple on the telephone, and he had us on the telephone, and he was telling us, oh, I sent you over there to do this, this, and that, and we were so scared over the telephone. That was just so funny to me, because we respected him that much that just a telephone call would do what it needed to be done. And we got back on track, and we were focused, and we went back and ran well at the Montreal Olympics.
And so Coach Temple has had a tremendous impact on all of you as Tigerbelles and as human beings. As a matter of fact, we've had several opportunities to talk to Coach Temple about the Olympic tradition at Tennessee State University, and it seems that he was a very, very unusual kind of individual, an unusual kind of leader, and somehow provided an extra kind of motivation. What was it, looking back over it now, as a coach for the women's strike team now, in a real sense occupying his position, what was it that made him, his regime, so important to you?
I think that he just kept it real. You know, he let you know what he expected, and that was it. You knew from the start that this is what he expected. And I guess everybody just wanted to make sure that we lived up to that reputation, and we had some shoes to follow, because Wilma Rudolph, Juan Matthias, Edith McGuire, May Fags, all those big names that came through here, and we wanted to do what they did. So we wanted to live up to not only Coach Temple and what he expected, but the other Tigerbelles that had paved the way for us.
And I think, Coach, oftentimes you respond to in your telephone recorder by saying that the Tennessee State University Tigerbelles, the #1 track team in the OVC for outdoors. What are you saying here?
Well, on last year we were the OVC outdoor champions, so we're just putting that on the telephone to let the people know that we are the reigning outdoor champions.
And so the Tigerbelles as a team is still doing the same thing in terms of its exploits and et cetera. Talk about your team now.
Well, this year, like I said, we won the OVC championship outdoors. We took second place indoors on last year, and now we're into a new season. Everybody returned except one player, so we're expecting to do a repeat. That's our goal for this year. We expect to be in the top 3. I have a really good team. On last weekend, we had a Ed Temple Classic here at the indoor facility, the Gentry Complex. Also, we had a Tigerbelle reunion. So we had Edith McGuire was here, Lucinda Williams, Joanne Terry. A lot of Olympians were here on campus at Tennessee State, and we had a really good time. And then on Sunday, we closed it off with a big track meet, and the women are running well. We just hope that everyone will stay healthy and do what they need to do. Now,
how do the young players react to some of these old names that you've mentioned? I mean, what is their attitude in reference to who they are and where they are?
They know who they are, because as freshmen, young ladies, I make every freshman do a book report on a living Tigerbelle. So they know who the Tigerbelles are, because we will keep that tradition alive. I don't want anyone to come in here and not know a Tigerbelle or not know who Wilma Rudolph is or Edward Temple. So therefore, I'm keeping that alive by doing a book report. The young ladies have to do a book report. They have to stand up before the group and report it, read it. They have to do a telephone interview with the Tigerbelle. And on this weekend, they were excited to know that this is the person I interviewed on the telephone. Madeline Manning was here. She gave the young ladies a motivational speech talk before the track meet, and that really got them going. Yeah.
And the Olympic torch also came through Nashville doing quite recently, did it not?
Yes, it did.
And you and your group, I think you were all involved in that.
Well,
talk about that.
we first of all, I was involved with the 96 Olympic torch in Atlanta. I took part in that, running the torch through the TSU campus. And then the 2001 torch came through for the Winter Games. We, the torch started at TSU campus, ran through the campus. We had a display down at the riverfront with the Tigerbelles pictures hanging up, just doing a display of the Tigerbelles, yes.
And so Tennessee State University has a real Olympic tradition. I mean, it's in terms of being able to talk about the number of medals and talk about some of those medals and some of the things.
Tennessee State history in Olympic competition. We have 40 athletes have come from Tennessee State to participate in the Olympic Games. 23 medals, gold medals. I believe it was 14 bronze and maybe 8 silver, something like that. I'm not sure the numbers, and Coach Simple can tell you those numbers. But we do have a rich history in Olympic competition. The medal count, we know that some countries have not won medals like we've won at Tennessee State. So we plan to keep that tradition going. We have not done that yet, but I think the first step we have done is to win the OVC, and then from there, NCAA, international, and then national
And so that's the kind of level of competition that you generally think about when you're trying to move back toward the Olympics, that you have to try to do it on the local level, and then you move on up farther, and eventually you have set your sight. Yes. And you do see yourself going back as a coach.
Oh, yes.
And emulating Coach Temple and taking his group there, you see yourself within that same
Well, I won't say that I'm going to take a whole slew, because that is something hard to do.
I would imagine. So, and of course, Coach, let's stop this for a short commercial break, and after which we'll come back and give you an opportunity. Thank you, and welcome back to this final segment of the show for today. The topic is a profile on CCheeseborough, the senior coach of the women's track team at Tennessee State University. And of course, Coach Cheeseborough, during the last 6 minutes that we have here, let's give you an opportunity to talk about some of the things that you believe that our audience ought to know, not only about you, but about the athletic team that you are now coaching at Tennessee State University.
At Tennessee State, we have a really good program this year. The young ladies, I have 6 seniors, a really good captain, a local girl, Nashville, Tennessee, that has been doing a great job with the team, leading the team. So my job is pretty easy. You know, all I have to do is tell them what they need to do, and they carry it out. And it's been a long, hard road to get that, but now I have it in place. I'm not going to let it go. And I was saying that my goal and my dream is to go to the Olympic Games and be the Olympic coach one day. I would love to be the Olympic coach in 2008 in China. That is my desire, and I know I will, because I've been on international teams, and I'm working my way up the ladder. I'm doing the things that need to be done to be appointed for that position. So it will be soon. I don't know how soon, but I'm looking forward to that. Yeah.
And of course, that would help your entire team, would it not, to
yes.
simply have you in that very, very position?
I think it's something that they can brag about, but their coach being the Olympic coach. And I pray that it would be a motivation for them to want to make the team and say that they were on the same team that the coach is coaching. Yeah.
You know, Coach, I think you started a statement before we had our commercial break that we interrupted, but to talk about the whole process of recruiting people for the Tigerbelles now compared to perhaps when you were recruited or when Wilma was recruited and the difficult problems in terms. Go on, talk about it.
Well, we were talking about how me following Coach Temple's footstep and putting girls on the Olympic team. That's not hard to do, but it will be hard to put those numbers to have a relay team with 4 Tennessee State women, because the student athlete now have an opportunity to go to any college in the United States. And back in the day, as they say, Tennessee State was the college to go to, but now student athletes can pick and choose where they want to, so the talent is spread it out. So it's very difficult in recruiting today, the top student athlete.
And I would imagine that some of these student athletes come very, very expensive to the university, which is to say that while you're not really paying them in a real sense, that there are some inducements that some universities have that perhaps other universities don't have. Would that be a correct statement?
Yes.
What do you think that you need personally for your program at Tennessee State University to keep you on the road that you are trying to reach dealing with going back to the Olympics? I mean, what kind of support do you think that you need?
Well, I believe that we need the local support, and just maintain the support that we have within the university, along with the president and the athletic director. They do give me support, and if they just keep pushing that, and an assistant coach, those things will help, us to get a good recruiting base, young ladies to come in and sell our program. Yes.
And so you feel that you have the support that is necessary in order to accomplish some of the things that you're trying to at this particular level.
We still can use a little more, but we do have support. But you can always use, a lot more. But it's going well at this point.
And we've got about 2 minutes here. Let's have you to speak to our audience this morning about what you epitomize more than anything, and that is success. What does it take in order to be successful, that when you talk to your members of your squad and et cetera, what are some of the things that you tell them they have to do in order to be successful?
Well, my thing, first of all, you got to want to be a Tennessee State Tigerbelle. That's the first part, because I feel like if you're not happy at Tennessee State, you're not going to give me 100%. So first of all, we want to make sure that you're happy. And then the next thing, what is your level of winning? Where do you want to go with this? How can I help you to meet your goals? And on my way in, I was reading the goals. I make them do weekly goals on the track meet, and then that should meet their overall goal. So I have to know what are you trying to get, so I'll know how to come at you and how to administer in what you want. So you have to set goals. You have to have that desire to win. So my thing is, I keep encouraging them to meet the short-term goals, then their long-term goals will be there.
And that'll be that, and that's all part of what you consider to be the way to bring them to reach the goals that you personally have already set in terms of your own
Well, that
goals.
would definitely meet the team goals, because we know that the team wants to win the OVC championship again. So if everybody meet their own individual goals, then the team goal will take care of itself. Yes.
Very good. And of course, Coach Cheeseborough, let me thank you during the last half minute that we have here for coming by and giving us that profile information. As we said before, you are internationally and nationally known, but in terms of some of the things that you've talked about here today, a lot of folks don't know the impact that Coach Temple, even though certainly I know that he would have to have had a great impact upon you, but I think that you've revealed to us a lot of information this morning, and we thank you for that. And let me encourage our audience to tune in again next week for another informative edition of Cummings. Thank you and good morning.